Jay Massey is a full-time real estate investor. He's an entrepreneur.
He also teaches people how to find deals, raise capital for real estate investments.
Meeting Jay Massey in person, you'd think he's just a regular guy. He's got jeans and a t-shirt on and a pair of sneakers. But he's built up a multi-million-dollar empire.
I hope you do have an empty notebook because it's going home filled.
Jay gives back so much value that I've never seen.
Now, at this moment, when I'm looking at the kitchen, things are going through my head.
You want to be friends with him, and he treats you like you're the only person in the room, even though it's for the benefit of everybody.
This is how, when you ask yourself, how does Jay do it? This is how.
He tells people that they have to take action, and they have to take action now. I took the action, and the results have paid off.
What happens when the marketplace understands who we are and how we go out there?
Hey guys,
What's
Wendy's
up?
jamming. I'm jamming.
Some good music.
Yeah,
It really gets me pumped up.
It does, doesn't it? I love that
Yes.
music. I love that music.
Welcome.
Welcome. Obviously, we're not Jay.
We are not Jay.
We've been saying that every Sunday this month.
We're just Jay's minions.
Yeah, so Jay's been going live every week or every day, actually, in August. And for Sundays, Wendy and I have been taking over his stream. And for you guys that are new, I see
Welcome.
David Hernandez is in here. He's new to the stream, so he
Welcome.
might be like, where's Jay? There was that intro that had Jay in it. Where's Jay? And who are these people?
That's a beautiful background right
It
there.
really is,
I want
yeah.
to be wherever you guys
Yeah,
are.
wherever David is, wherever that picture was taken, it seems like a great place to be. So my name is John Williams. This is my wife, Wendy Williams. We are the accountability coaches in the Roadmap program here at CashFlowDiary. And we're honored to come to you this Sunday and talk about the questions people should ask versus the questions people do ask. And that's a really great topic because as accountability coaches, as we work with students one-on-one, which is kind of our job, we get a lot of those questions. So
Yes, we do.
I think there's kind of three things that we can talk about and we'll kind of go through those.
Yeah. So, well, the first thing that comes to my mind when people ask a question that something that they are asking and it's something maybe they should be asking something different is their mindset just needs a little shift. So that's what I thought we would talk about first is mindset. And I think that is a really big buzzword nowadays.
It is
right?
like, what does that mean?
Right.
Right.
Like, what does that really mean? And it's so like trendy and everybody's talking about their mindset and working on their mindset. But we do a lot of that as coaches. I think people come into the program with their own set of preconceived notions about what a short-term rental really is. Maybe they've heard something from, the news or the people around them that has kind of shaped their view of what a short-term rental really is, because we hear people talk about, oh, I'm going to Airbnb something, right? But so that's one of the things that we really work on as coaches. So,
and that's totally normal because everybody has their own unique life experiences.
Sure.
Everyone has their own baggage, if you will, that they bring with you. Everyone has their own unique experience. And so that's always a thing. Whenever you're learning something, one of my favorite quotes from one of my mentors was, you have to empty your cup so that you can put something in it, right? So to learn something new, if you've got a cup that's full, that has all of these thoughts and ideas already in it, if you're going to add any new ideas or any new perspectives or new ways of looking at things, you have to drain the cup so that it can accept that new information, right?
that's a really good analogy.
Yeah, I liked it too. I like visuals. I like analogies. If you followed us at all on Sundays, you'll find that John does a lot of analogies.
John likes analogies.
It's the way I think, but I like that visual.
The other two. So it's interesting because we see a correlation, and a lot of people come in and they have this belief that I can't do this. I can't do this because, right? I can't do this because I don't have any money, or I can't do this because I don't know enough, or I can't do this because it may be something deeper, like, I'm not worthy of even being here,
right, or
making the money that I really want to make. And I had that problem when I first started too, that, I didn't feel that my worth was, I didn't have enough value. I didn't know enough, or I didn't have anything to contribute. So getting over those mind hurdles, if you will, is one of the main things that we as accountability coaches do right from the very beginning.
Right. And that's one of the things we're reading in the book that we're going through now in the roadmap. Yes, we read books too. Yeah. But yes, we're reading a book now, and it talks about the difference between your identity and your roles, and how those two things are intertwined. And mindset's so much a part of that you will never succeed in your roles beyond how you self-identify.
That's good.
So if you're on a scale of 0, I'm, a 0, to 10, I'm awesome. If you consider yourself a 7, it's going to be really hard in any role that you take on to become more than a 7.
Right. Even your role as a father, or your role as a son, or
how successful you are in business.
Yeah.
Right. So that a lot of that is mindset, and how do you perceive things, and are there different ways of looking at things, and perspective, and all that kind of thing. So
that's good stuff.
So yeah.
So we talk a lot about mindset, and what we do is we help people switch from the I can't because, insert whatever reason you want, and change it to how can I?
Yeah, one of the ways a practical example of that we've used in our own home because we have children. We have a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old, 9-year-old girl, 13-year-old
Why are you
boy.
looking at me like?
Because their birthdays. I do too. I do. But maybe it's my identity as maybe it's a mindset problem. Ooh. But anyway, when they ask us, we want such and such, or we'd like to have such and such, or we want to buy such and such. How many times did you hear from your parents, well, we can't afford that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. And so we stopped saying that. At some point, we realized that, okay, we were instilling that sort of mindset into our children. And so instead of saying we can't afford that, what we have started saying is, how can we afford that?
Right.
Right. How can you afford that?
Right. Mm-hmm.
How much does that cost, Emma, our daughter? And she'll say it's $10. And instead of, hey, we don't have $10, it's now, how can you earn $10?
Well, she came up with a really good idea, was to make snacks for people, like, I don't know,
Rice Krispie treats, and candy, and
chocolate chip cookies. And she's going to a swimming pool, and during the break, she sells snacks.
Right. And that kind of goes back to one of those mindset things that, hey, you don't have a money problem, you have an idea problem.
Oh, dang, that's good.
So it wasn't that she needed $10. She needed an idea that produced $10. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's the kind of things that we talk about, and we use it as practical advice in our own home with our own children. So.
I got a good one for you.
Ooh, give me one.
I got a good one. How do I repair my credit?
Oh, yes. So there are lots of questions like that. And I think that comes from a place of assumption. It makes the assumption that you need good credit, right? Because that's really why you're asking the question. Yep. You're asking the question because it comes from a place of, well, obviously I need good credit, right? But maybe a better question is, how do I do this without good credit? right? That's a whole different question, because it doesn't make the assumption. It's how can I do this? Not I can't because my credit is bad. How do I fix that? Right.
Right. And it assumes that you know what you need already. Right. And
it does. Yes.
Without asking those following questions, because the more questions you ask, you eventually peel away at this onion and you finally get down to, maybe a banana would be a better analogy. Maybe
because it's only got the one peel.
Right. Well, yeah.
And they taste better than onions.
They taste a lot better. Yeah. Well, there's like actually something of substance in the middle.
Oh yeah. So an onion is just the onion.
Right.
I got it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're peeling away at the reasons why you think that you can't do something, or why you need to know something, and you just keep asking those questions. And that's what we do as coaches, is we keep asking those relevant questions to get you to the real root of what it is you actually need to know or need to do. So,
right.
Oh, I got another one for you.
Oh, give me another one.
What should I put on my business card?
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah. Or what should the name of my LLC
Oh, that's a
be?
good one. I
Yes.
like that one. That's a good one too.
And that presumes that you need business cards. I honestly, the most successful, I know, well, I shouldn't say I know a lot of millionaires, but I know more than one, and none of them have business cards.
It's true.
It's true. And it's just one of those things that you assume, hey, this is something I need. And then it becomes, well, why do you think that? Well, obviously I need that. Right. And so I think that's how a lot of times how these mindset things manifest themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They manifest themselves as, you don't know what you're asking the, one of my favorite mentors, different mentor. This guy said to me one time, he said, John, you need to learn to ask better questions.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a good one.
Because I was asking all these questions.
Ask better questions.
And he wasn't answering me. And I'm like, why are you not giving me the answers to the questions I'm asking you? And he said, John, you need to learn to ask better questions. And at that time, I didn't really get what he was trying to tell me. But it was that. A lot of my questions were rooted in assumption, or rooted in what I thought I knew. Right. And they weren't rooted in getting to the actual knowledge that I needed. I don't know if that's a good way of saying
no,
it. No,
that's good, because
yeah.
Because that happens a lot, right? And when you're new, you don't know
what you don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah, sometimes
so
that's true.
You ask. I mean, we are here so that we can guide people through their journey, right? I mean, we've been there. We're going through it as well. We're doing the exact same thing. We also have a short-term rental business, so we have the same problems and the same failures and successes and everything. So we are here to help guide people through their own journey. But when you're new, you don't really know what question to ask until you go and take action.
Yeah, that's true. And I see that a lot.
Yes, you do. Like, you think that you need to know everything. A lot of people do. A lot of people think that they need to know exactly how the whole business works. I got to know every little detail about everything.
Or I have to have this piece and this piece and this piece in place.
Right. Yes.
You know, I get questions like that all the time. Like, well, how do I raise private money? Well, do you have any leases to sign yet? Well, no. Well, why do you need money? You have nothing to spend it on. If you had money right now, what would you do with it? Right. Well, then I'd go out and try to get the leases. Well, you've got to always be doing both. Right. And that's the real answer. You'll never have, in that particular instance, as real estate investors, if you've done any sort of real estate investing at all, you will know that you either have a lack of one of two things, deals or capital, right? It's like they never sync up at the same time. So you're always searching for both. So even if you don't have the capital, go find the deals anyway, and the capital will show up.
Yep.
And even if you don't have the deals, go raise the capital, because when the deal presents itself, you're going to need the capital. So that's one of those things you always have to be doing both. But that's
a mindset.
But it's a mindset thing, yeah.
Shift too, right? Because it's almost counterintuitive.
It is, yeah.
For a lot of people, I know it was for me, because I never really thought about like doing both of those things simultaneously. I thought, well, I need to go, raise the money first and then go find the deal to match it. But it's been our experience that the more you do both of those things simultaneously, they just kind of gel together, and then you've got all these leads coming in, and then you've got the capital to match with it, and just snowballs the more you do it. So, but I think it's just a mindset shift for a lot of people. So
it is, and it's a belief. I'm a big like throw back out into the universe what you want to come back to you type person. And it seems to work out that way. So many times in so many different ways. So, but again, it's a mindset shift. And one thing, and you'll notice mindset kind of runs through this whole thing. One warning I will give you about mindset is that I know so many people that are perpetually working on their mindset, but never go doing it.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's why I was saying
they never take action. Right.
That's why I said, go, you don't know what you don't know because you haven't done anything.
That's true. Yeah.
So if you want to know what you don't know, go out and do something. Just like we said, yesterday, fail forward, fail quickly, go out and make those mistakes, and then you will learn something from them and bring them back. Now you've got a better question to ask, right?
Yes. Questions always change as people take action.
Yes.
The questions in the beginning become, how do I talk to a landlord? How do I, how do I raise the capital? How am I ever going to afford this? What location should I be in? And all that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden somebody gets 2 or 3 and the questions totally change to, how do I now manage my cash flow? How do I deal with guests? How do I do turnover? What software do I need? All of these types of things. And because they've gone and taken the action, oftentimes taking the action gives you the answers to the questions.
Oh, that's good.
And so they no longer need to ask me, how do I talk to a landlord? Because now they have the experience. Yes, I can tell you that stuff, but doing it, and it's kind of like me trying to tell you how to fly a plane, because I'm a licensed pilot. I can tell you all day, but until you go practice, you're probably not going to be able to land it. It's not something you can watch a YouTube video. You have to go practice, and practice what you teach is one of the taglines here at CashFlowDiary. Right?
Yep.
Oh, Mary's got a really good question. How do you get over the fear of failure?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right. So sometimes answering a question and learning to ask better questions is asking you a question back. Why are you afraid of failure? What scares you about it?
That's exactly the question that I was just about to ask.
If you fail, what is it that you think is going to happen? And I like to think that all the time. What's the worst that could happen?
Right.
And play out that scenario and vocalize it.
Right.
Vocalize it. Say, hey, here's the worst thing that could possibly happen, and speak it aloud. And then oftentimes it's not actually as bad as you thought it was once you think it through, right? So,
I remember going to talk to landlords for the first time.
Right. Well, not only that, but what if, and we had this discussion, what if we buy all this furniture, we sign this lease for a year or 2, right? And nobody comes and stays.
That's interesting, because we had that happen.
Well, not nobody, but
Well,
yeah,
that's true.
but that was one of our failures, right?
Yes,
So,
yes.
so how do we overcome the fear of that? Well, we sat around and said, what's the worst that could happen? And frankly, the worst thing that can possibly happen is that we now own a bunch of furniture that we can go put in a different place.
Yes.
Or we have to just rent that place out long-term to a subtenant, right? And move on to something else. And when you think about it that way, it's not, that scenario is not going to ruin my life, right? Even if that particular location doesn't work out, the worst thing that can happen is I got to sell all the furniture and I might be out. Well, I think I can do it without being out money, actually, but and we did, but
Yep.
That's kind of the worst that can happen. And so when you think of it that way, then it kind of takes that fear away, I think. So you gotta think about what are you really afraid of and vocalize it. That would be my answer.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Nope. I love it. No, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yep. Well, so the next thing that we want to talk about was that how does this fit into the coaching part of the roadmap?
I feel like we've been coaching you this whole call, actually. We're talking, somebody out there is listening and we're talking to them, actually. Yes.
So that one of the things that we do, not only do we, help you figure out what kind of questions to ask and, shape your mindset and help you come up with those goals, but we also help you focus on what you need to focus on. Like I said before, a lot of people come in thinking that they have to know everything about the business before they get started.
And that's just some people's personalities. I tend to be that way.
You are that way.
I want to know everything. I want to know how it works. I'm one of those people that gets a new gadget and takes it apart to see what makes it tick.
Yes,
right?
he did. Yes, he's done that recently.
But keep going.
But I think the point I was trying to make is that we as coaches help you not only see the big picture, the big goal or the big vision that you have for your life, and we help you plan out how to get there. We help focus you so that you can stay on track.
Yeah, because sometimes the question is, what do I do next?
Yes.
Which is a real valid question, I think. Sometimes you know the answer and you're just looking for permission to do that next thing.
Yes, permission's a good word.
Validation is a word, but permission often is what you're looking
Yes.
for. You want to know, hey, is this next thing that I'm going to do the right step or not? Am I about to step on a landmine?
Yes.
And that's a great question. I love when people ask that question, but some of the time it's also, hey, I'm thinking about doing this thing, and it's our job to kind of redirect and say, yes, that's important, but let's back up a little bit. That's step 4. Let's do step 2 and 3 first.
Yes.
Right. And so that having a guide like that, I think can be really helpful. Having someone who can point you to resources.
Yes.
And say, hey, sometimes it's just, hey, here's a place where Jay talked about that very thing. And you just don't know it exists because you missed it, or it was, a year ago or whatever. And I like to say my mind is my notebook. I remember a lot of things like that.
Do.
So I'll say, I know he did a video on that. Let me go find it for you. And so sometimes it's just being a resource for students as well.
And John is the master. He's the master at remembering where.
Yeah, the problem is if I ever lose my mind, I'm going to lose all of my notes because I don't write any of it down. When he's the write it down.
Yes,
person.
because I have so much stuff in my mind already. Like, where is the Barbie with the blue dress and the missing head?
Right. Right. Those mom things.
I have stuff like that in my brain.
Yes. And she probably does know where it is.
I do. I know exactly where it is, in the bathtub.
That's true. If I lose something, I always ask, Wendy, where is that?
Because I put it there.
Yeah, I had to ask her where my social security card was
That's
2 days ago.
right. That's right.
And she's like, it's in your old wallet in the basket above and I'm like, how do you know that?
Because I put it there.
Okay. Okay. Well, she puts things in their place.
That's right. Everything has its place.
Yes. Yes. Everything does have its place in the Williams household. So let me see if I can go through some of these. I know there's been some chat items.
I hope that's been helpful, but I feel like that we as coaches help people with their mindset, with their vision, not only for their business, but also for their lives. Because that's one of the very first things that we talk about when we first when we have our initial consultation with people is, why are you here?
And developing your vision,
Yes. What is this vision that you have for yourself? I mean, you're here for a reason. What is it? So, and I think that having that vision really helps people have a clear goal in mind, like where they want to go to. They're like, I'm going this direction, and this is how I'm going to get there. And it's very motivating, I think, too. So,
yeah, I think so as well. Lorraine says this is perfect aligned with today's training topic at 3 p.m.
Yes, that's right.
So that's 3 Eastern. That is 12 Pacific. And what she is referring to is we are actually on day 7 of masterclass that Jay is doing. If you haven't registered for those, you can go to CashFlowDiary.com/learn live and get registered for those. They will take place in the mastery group for CashFlow Diary, but you need to be registered because there's a whole workbook and there's a lot there for you. So if you want to tune back in, Jay will be here 12 p.m. Pacific, and that's 3 p.m. Eastern. And that's what Lorraine was talking about. So yeah, definitely go sign up for that. We're actually into our bonus days. It was supposed to be 5 days, and Jay said, "Hey, I've got more content. Let's keep going." So it's supposed to end Friday. We actually did yesterday, Saturday, and it's happening again today, and will happen again Monday and Tuesday, I believe.
Goodness.
So definitely go over there and get registered. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. Comments?
T. Williams show.
Mary says, I learned so much from them. I'm always repeating what they say to others. Yes. And oftentimes what you'll hear us say is simply what Jay has taught us, and we're repeating with others. So I always like to use this analogy. It's like reading a book. So so this comes from a place of sometimes you feel like you don't know enough to help someone else, and that's not true. I like to think of it as reading a book. If you're reading a particular book and you're on chapter 4, you have things that you can tell the person that hasn't started the book yet, right? There is knowledge and wisdom there that you have because you are 4 chapters in. So turn around and give a helping hand to that person that hasn't started, or the person that's just on chapter 2, or the person that's just on chapter 3. And then what the great thing about this family and CashFlow Diary and all the information that's here is there are people on chapter 25. And so if you are on chapter 7, you can turn around and now look forward to them and get their wisdom and knowledge because they've read further in the book. So it's a give and take. I think we all have things that we can teach others, no matter where we are along that journey.
Another good analogy. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's like Lorraine is yours.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And
we just had our first initial consultation.
Yeah, and Lorraine happens to be, we are in Charlotte, North Carolina. Lorraine happens to be in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
That's right.
So she's an hour and a half away, not far.
Yep, that's right. It's going to be exciting.
Yes, Jeremy says
excited.
roles versus identity was very eye-opening.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Very nice.
And that's in the book that we're currently reading. Can't tell you what it is. It's secret information.
Yep. Change from
yeah,
I can't
Mary,
to
change from
how
I
can
can't to how can I?
Mhm.
That's a big one. You
Yep.
know, if you can stop yourself and just do this during the day, every time you find yourself saying I can't, write it down or make note of it and write what that thing is. And then every time you do it, snap yourself and say, change it to how can I?
Mhm.
Right? I can't do that because I don't have time. How can I make time to do this? Is a totally different question. The first one just says, well, I just can't do it. The second one says, how can I come up with a solution? How can I come up with an idea to make that thing happen?
Right. The first one, I can't. I mean, that's just closed, but like that's book closed, end of story.
Right.
Right. But with how can I, somebody once told me that there's 10 different solutions to any one problem. So now how can I kind of gets those creative juices flowing, right? And it almost opens the book back up, and now you can
Start figuring out how I can.
look at things in a different perspective,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, you're not just you wear so many hats, or another way of saying it is you have many different roles, right?
Right.
And all of those different roles bring some kind of experience with them and perspective with them. Like, I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a daughter, I am a sister, I am a business owner. All of those different roles come with its own unique perspective. So now that you have opened up your mind, or the book, if you will, you haven't closed it. When you say I can't, you're closing off your mind to any kind of creative possibility. When you say how can I, it opens up your mind so that you can allow that creativity to flow through you and through your thoughts. And now you're thinking, well, if I did this, then, maybe this could happen.
Right. And write down any idea that you have to solve that, no matter how silly it sounds.
Right. Yes. Because sometimes those silly ideas turn out to be brilliant ones once you develop the idea a little bit more.
For sure.
So, I mean, our 9-year-old daughter has come up with some brilliant ideas to make money. I mean, she would go out into this like field area where the neighbor hits his golf balls.
That's right.
And she went over there and picked up 10, 15 golf balls and sold them back to him.
I know.
For like $5.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I mean, how creative is that?
And all that, and that, you know what that came from? That came from,
Yep.
I want a popsicle at the gas station.
Yep, that's right.
And instead of saying, hey, I don't have $2 for that, I said, how can you generate $2 to go do that? And she generated 5.
Yep.
So she got 2 pops.
That's right. That's what she did.
Now we got to work on how do we budget and
Right.
spend our money a little better? But
Hey.
I'm glad she got the principle.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Melania says, glad to be here. Glad to have you.
We're glad to have you. Welcome. Welcome. That's awesome.
Oh, Mary says, hey, John and Winnie, could you please share a link to your listings? I would love to see more good examples of SDRs. So
Okay.
disclaimer, I'm not here to sell my stuff, but since you asked, you can go to queencitysuites.com, SUITES. We don't sell candy. So queencitysuites.com, and you can check out the current listings that we have here in Charlotte.
Awesome. Winning with the Williamses Sundays.
Yes.
Hey, Donald, how are you? Welcome.
Mary says day 7 of masterclass. People can catch up by watching the replays. That's true. That is true. So you can go over there to CashFlowDiary.com/learn live, register for that. And even if this is the first you've heard of it, all of the replays of Monday through Saturday now are there.
Yep. That's
and
true.
then you can catch right up for Sunday.
Yep.
So definitely check that out.
You only need to be 15 minutes ahead. That's true.
You only need to be 15 minutes ahead and you've already got knowledge to share. That is so true.
Very true.
That is so true. That is so true.
I love it. Love it.
See, I had people 3 or 4 chapters ahead, but it's always true. If you are any bit ahead, you always have something to share with somebody else. I totally agree.
Yep. Karma.
And how can I starts the creative juices flowing. So yes, if you want to learn to ask better questions, ask how can I?
Instead of saying
How can
I can't.
Yes.
You will be surprised in the amount of times that you say I can't. Or if you're a parent, hear your children say I can't.
Right. And correcting them at an early age, I think that's going to help them in life.
Yeah.
Mary says, maybe your daughter has the business Queen City Suites. You know what she said? She keeps telling us we should have called it
Queen City Sheets.
Yes.
Yep. So now she wants to do package the sheets that we provide for people because they are so wonderful.
And we do get a lot of compliments on the bedding.
Yeah, all the bedding.
The mattress and the bedding. So she says, hey, why don't we open Queen City Sheets and sell the bedding? And I'm like, that's a really great, that probably would buy a lot of popsicles. Yes. Yes. It was easier when she was younger because she was convinced that the dollar store was like the best place to go.
That's true.
So she made $5. She was getting 5 things.
Yep, that's true.
Because we didn't have the discussion about tax and all that. But it's the concept. It's the concept.
The older they get, the more expensive their stuff gets.
I guess just jump in with the fishes and my planning has to get better.
Jump in with the fishes.
Yes, there's a really great video that I want you to go find if you haven't. And it's by somebody I really like. Oh gosh, it just went right out of my head. Don't you hate it when that happens when you're live and you have a thought and then you can't remember what it is?
Well, what was it about?
It's the Family Feud guy. What's his name? It's the parachute thing.
Oh, Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. Yes. How do I forget that? So there's a video out there.
Parachute one.
Yes. Go.
So good.
Go Google Steve Harvey parachute speech, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was originally he did it. He's the host of Family Feud, and it was given to the audience. You know how they kind of come out and talk to the audience before they go live on actual television and things like that.
Steve Harvey is great.
And it's all about you got to take a leap. You got to jump. You got to jump.
Boy, we
That's
did.
another thing you could Google.
We both quit our jobs and jumped with no parachute, and we're building our parachute on the way down.
Yeah. When the way he describes it is your parachute will open. It just won't open right away.
Right.
So you're going to hit the rocks. You're going to hit the cliff. You're going to get beat up a little bit, but eventually it has to.
Right.
It has to open. So, but yeah, that's it's a fear thing for sure.
Yep. Sure enough.
Queen City Sheets.
Queen City Sheets.
You should go get that domain name right now.
I know, right?
Just in case.
I know. It's brilliant. So creative.
Lorraine says, as a child, my mother didn't allow us to say I can't. I believe she meant.
Yep.
So yes, you're actually good.
It's a mindset thing. That's right.
Here's a really good question. How good does your planning need to be?
Ooh. Okay. How good does your planning need to be? Well,
I'd say this is where having a really great mentor comes in.
Oh, yes.
Because one of the great things about being in this program and being in the roadmap is it's planned out for you already.
Right.
It's kind of like getting
already a roadmap.
Yeah, it's like HelloFresh.
Yes.
You get the meal kit.
Yes.
It comes.
All
it
you
has
gotta
directions.
do is prepare the meal.
You do have to make the meal.
Another good analogy.
I love analogies, but you have to make the meal. You have to do the work, right? It does. The box doesn't cook itself, but the recipe is there and the ingredients are there.
Yes.
And it's very much the same way.
Oh, that's a good analogy. I really like that one.
Yes, yes,
Brilliant.
yes. Building our parachute on the way down.
Yep.
Yes. I want to say we have the parachute is there. The parachute is there. You just have to jump or it won't open. A parachute does no good unless you jump, right?
Oh, that.
He does it better than I do, but he talks about the visual of standing on a cliff and you see these people soaring by, right? You see Jay, he's soaring by, he's successful. You see my buddy Jeremy, he's soaring by, he's successful. You see John and Wendy and you're like, well, they're doing it. But yet you stay on the cliff and the only way you're going to soar is to jump. But listen to Steve. He's much better at it than I am.
Oh, that is a definitely you need to go listen to that one. That's a good one.
Welcome, Escobar family.
Welcome.
New here, just tuning
Escobar
in.
family.
Yes.
Nice. Welcome to the family.
Welcome.
From the Williams family.
So just so you know, I'll reiterate, this is the live every day in August that Jay does. And on Sundays, Wendy and I get to take over the stream. And we're the accountability coaches inside of the Roadmap program that CashFlowDiary has. So definitely check that out. Massey says, I remember the last 30-day mid-corona, the plan Jay put up was awesome. Yes. Yes. We started the Roadmap that particular program actually started January this year.
That sounds right.
Somewhere around there. And
sounds right.
We got going and people joined and we were in there too because we were running our business. And all of a sudden this thing called Corona came around, COVID-19, right? And all of a sudden it was, oh no, what do we do now?
Oh.
Right. And we were able to get together and brainstorm. And luckily the guy at the helm, Jay, actually started his business during the last big crash. So he actually did his first real estate transaction in 2008, believe it or not. So with no money, no credit, by the way, living in bank-owned property, I'll let him tell the story. But it's great to have somebody at the helm that has been through those kind of things. And now we're pretty much out of it. We're having currently one of the best summers ever. So
yeah, it's
the
been
master of analogies.
An amazing
Yes.
year. I mean, to think about the beginning of the year versus now. I mean, it's been incredible for us in our business.
It really has. Oh, here's a great question. What credit number do I need to make my first move? So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do
I love it.
is when this live is over, watch the replay. And the second thing I'm going to just suggest is that perhaps that's not the answer, that's not the question that you really want to know. And I'm going to leave the rest of it a mystery because it is in this video. Watch it back. If it doesn't answer your question, then feel free to ask again. I will get the notification for sure. Oh, and Lorraine's got it. Here is the link to Steve Harvey's speech.
Oh, thank you, Lorraine.
Yes. So go check that out. It's it's inspirational to me.
It really is. Yeah.
So
One of
definitely
my
go check that
favorites.
out for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yep.
So I want to remind you guys that, especially if you just jumped in kind of late, we do have the bonus trainings going on today as part of our what was supposed to be a 5-day live masterclass is now extended to 9 days. So the replays are all there, but to do that, you're going to have to go register for it. And it's not that one. Oh yeah, actually it is that one. So it's register for the lives. These are not this one, but these are the ones coming up later today at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Go to cashflowdiary.com/learn live and get registered, and you will get your workbook. You'll need the workbook for that. cashflowdiary.com/workbook. And you know, if you've been a part of that already, and the roadmap is something that you think is for you, but you still have some questions, I would encourage you. cashflowdiary.com/let's meet. And what that will do is it'll get you on a phone call with either Jeremy or Rob, who are our sales team here at CashFlowDiary, and they are also operators themselves. forget how many units Rob has, but he has something like 40 bedrooms under management. And Jeremy has got 25 or so units out in Austin, Texas. So they can answer your questions, whether it be about STR or about what the roadmap's all about and all of that kind of thing. So go check that out for sure. And that's kind of all I had for you today.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else? I forgot to tell you, there is a bonus. There's when you register and if you decide to join the roadmap, there are bonuses available. But you'll have to show up to find out what those are from Jay. But they're really exciting things, and giving away TVs, giving away optimize your Airbnb listing. We're giving away software. All sorts of goodies. So definitely get over there. Yeah. And if you're ready to go, you can just go right to CashFlowDiary.com/roadmap and take advantage of that stuff. So yeah. And there's a scholarship. There's a $5,000 scholarship that you can use to get into the program as well. Somebody's going to win that. That's always exciting. So get over there and definitely show up, get registered, and check it out here today at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern. I always have to do math. Because we are actually East Coast, and CashFlow Diary is headquartered in California, which is West Coast. So I'm always having to do this 3-hour math thing, but I'm getting better at it.
Yep, I'm getting a lot better too, especially since a lot of our students are like nationwide, right? So I have learned very well that, the difference between all the time zones.
Yes. And if you want to win that scholarship, you're going to have to participate and basically submit the homework. And the homework is the workbook. But the first step is to get registered. So go over there and get registered. And but if you want to know about the scholarship, it's CashFlowDiary.com/scholarship.
And
there's
remember,
$5,000 there. So
don't say I can't, say how
can I? How can I? Hopefully you've changed your mindset a little bit and the way that you speak. And I guarantee it will bring you much success.
Yep.
So any last comments? Oh, thank you, Elaine. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Lorraine.
Really appreciate it. And we're coming up on the hour. So unless there are any other burning questions, feel free to comment once the live is over. We will definitely respond. And again, join us in about 2 hours. 2 hours, Jay will be back and we'll be going over all that stuff. So,
yep.
Cool.
An app I downloaded messed up my homework.
This is funny. I hope it's not actually true, but it's kind of, is this the modern version of my dog ate it?
I'm sorry. As a former teacher, that's funny.
But if that happened, I'm sorry that did happen. But
oh, I am as well.
Yes.
Sorry.
We'll give you the cheat codes. We'll give you the cheat codes.
I bet you can find them. Just Google them.
Yes. All right, guys. With that, we will see you next time. And thanks for joining us.
Yep. Say, how can I?
How can I?
Jay Massey is a full-time real estate investor. He's an entrepreneur.
He also teaches people how to find deals, raise capital for real estate investments.